How y'all doing, guys? Paul Ryan back at it again. I'd like to say thank you to everybody who tuned into the fantasy podcast tonight. Your support means a lot, so we appreciate that. And let me know what you think of the fantasy content. I know fantasy season is a little ways away, but we like to stay informed and hopefully entertained. So let me know what you guys think. We did talk about the AFC East tonight. Not that exciting of a division, but hey, you got to find an edge somewhere, right? So let's talk some Cowboys. I was reading an article and it was talking about Dak Prescott being at tight end university. Now, some of you guys probably already knew that, but for those of you who didn't know, Dak was out there with George Kittle, Jake Ferguson, and Luke Schoonmaker. The reason I bring this up is, well, one, Dak Prescott was mentioned how a tight end is a quarterback's best friend. And we saw the connection building with Jake Ferguson and Dak Prescott last season. And a couple of nights ago, when I talked about the Cowboys re-signing Dak Prescott, Michael Parsons, and CeeDee Lamb, would that be possible? In the article that I shared, it said that it is possible. However, some guys might have to be let go. One of those guys being Jake Ferguson. And I personally said I think I would rather let Michael Parsons walk and keep Jake Ferguson and Deron Bland. And it just kind of goes to show that Jake Ferguson, I think he's going to be one of those guys who this time next year we'll be talking about as a top three, at least a top five tight end in the NFL, not just in fantasy, but in the NFL. I have a strong feeling that he's just going to be like what Jason Witten was to this team, how consistent he was, how great he was, but even elevated than that, just a better athlete, better after the catch, just a better producer. So I'm excited to see what Jake Ferguson will do. But I also thought it was cool to see Luke Schoonmaker was also out there. He was injured. He's dealing with a shoulder injury this year. I wasn't sure how much work he'd get in or if he'd be ready for training camp or anything like that. But nice to know that he was out there with Jake Ferguson, Dak Prescott, working on that chemistry, just staying active and hopefully staying in shape, right? Because we need him, man. He's a big player. I believe like 6'7", could be a great red zone target. Just another weapon. We drafted him to be a seam bet. That's one of his best traits was his ability in the seam, and we know how Dak Prescott loves to attack the seam. So if we can have Luke Schoonmaker and Jake Ferguson running 12 personnel with those guys, holy cow, man, that's exciting to think about. This offense could really take the next step, especially, again, as I've mentioned a lot already on this channel, how Dak Prescott another year in this offense with these players, with CeeDee Lamb, with Brandon Cooks, and of course with Jake Ferguson and Luke Schoonmaker. Exciting things ahead. But that's all I've got for you guys tonight. I hope everybody's having a good night, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.